Hi, welcome back to our channel. We are Chase and Melia, and today we are reacting to a highly requested Dimash. So we actually know nothing about Dimash. We are just excited to give him a shot. A lot of people requested him. A lot of people really enjoy him. So here we go.
Awesome. So this is him singing SOS, another highly requested video specifically. So here is our first time reacting. I think he is singing in French. Before it goes too far, what do you think so far?
Oh my gosh, I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah.
He's doing something that's really hard for a lot of males to do,
yes.
which is they keep that fullness of sound in their falsetto.
Right.
You know, he glides
Yeah.
through that transition where he's singing in his, some would say chest voice, right? His full voice, and he goes all the way up, and you can't even tell that he switched.
Right.
And
is he a countertenor, do you think?
He has training for sure.
Right.
For sure.
Right.
So countertenor is where a man, it's usually actually a baritone.
Right.
A baritone can flip up, and their falsetto is highly trained.
Right.
So they can sing, female parts in operas, all kinds of stuff.
Absolutely. And he reminds me of somebody that we went to school with. That was a countertenor.
Yeah.
And so, that's what's interesting is because you'd think, they can only sing really high, but that's not the case.
June, right?
Yeah. And
June.
there's still, that beautiful low register. That's what surprised me the most. Because I feel like I knew that he was going to sing high, because that's just kind of, I've read some comments a little bit. But I didn't expect him to have the full range.
Yeah. The person we went to school with, his name was June, and he mostly sang up in that high register.
Right.
I think he sang soprano too.
I think so
choir.
too, or even mezzo. Well, I guess countertenor in solo music. I think it is mezzo. I don't know.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's but he he was very much only singing in that realm, in that range.
Yeah.
And he's going back and forth pretty seamlessly. It's impressive.
Right. I want to say one more thing. I did notice at the top part, when he was kind of doing this last thing, he almost wasn't sending his air all the way through it. Did you feel like it was kind of what we talked about in one of our videos, where it almost was like he kind of stopped it a little?
With
I don't
the vibrato?
know. Well, not even the vibrato. I feel like more just maybe stylistic choice.
Well,
because he's definitely switching back and forth between a classical style and a contemporary style.
Yeah.
You can hear him start to add some vocal agility, almost little run riffs, which is not really classical style, but he's definitely singing and classically trained. He's singing in that way.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. He's singing really quietly, and
Right.
I had a teacher that said takes even more air to sing quietly than it does to sing loud.
Right.
And that's so, counterintuitive. You don't think that that's how it works.
Tenor-intuitive.
Counter-tenor-tuitive.
Guy's face.
Okay, he has a beautiful voice, right? Beautiful voice. For my preferences, however, I think his vibrato is really heavy.
Yeah?
you can see
I
it
saw
a
his
little
head
bit in his
move.
head, and
Yeah.
it goes really deep.
Yeah.
And it almost goes out of tune.
Well, and I felt like it definitely started to kind of sit a little heavier when he's doing this. Seems like more of a belting kind of part of this song.
Yeah.
Like he's definitely using more of his chest. It does feel heavy. I think that's the word I would use.
What do you think of the whoa?
Yeah, that I don't know. That's almost like I don't really know. It was like a warm up.
So it kind of lost it for me
little
because it
bit.
lost that bite that he has
That's
up
like-
there.
yeah.
You know, when he go whoa, it kind of
Yeah.
takes all of the edge off of it, and it kind of, you know, that's a more conventional falsetto sound.
And you know what? Let's rewind it because I think a lot of that was the vowel too.
Yes,
like
it's right before this guy's face.
He's like swallowing a little bit more.
Yeah.
He's not. Yeah, exactly.
Not whoa.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a much more like darker, taller vowel, and I think it needs to be more closed,
Yeah.
right?
And forward.
Yeah, and when I say it needs to be, I mean for like that efficiency of sound. Like
Yeah.
it is not the most efficient that he could be making that note in particular.
One of our favorite things about this whole, you know, thing is that we can sit here in our own living room and talk about people who are infinitely more
World-known.
successful than we are.
Absolutely.
But, you know, this is the internet.
And this is, again, like, so we're only doing this not knowing anything about him.
Yeah.
We think that he was classically trained.
Yeah. Seems like it.
It seems like it as well from here. And then also this is just like what we're hearing and seeing from this performance.
Yeah.
So this is
This
the
is
first
a
one.
snapshot.
Yeah.
This is a single point in time where we can, you know, quickly assess whatever he's doing.
Right.
But that doesn't, you know, speak to how he is as a singer. This is a single performance.
Right. So that's like a strong falsetto. Like, what does that happen?
So that's the complete opposite of the whoa.
Absolutely.
It's a how. It's
that's-
really forward.
See the resonance between those two, like he was singing higher just now. And the resonance between what he's doing now and what he was doing is so different.
Yeah.
Like that's a different placement.
Yeah, and I think it's a
Right.
different vowel. I think it's a
Right.
super different vowel. So like we talk on the channel a lot about air and vowel. And when he goes, nice, really high like that, and he oh,
Right.
right? It's hugely different. It's like all the difference in the world, and
Yeah.
you're just changing one thing.
I do feel like, well, I understand what you're saying, that it's not like, because he's not really belting it. So it's not like a throat thing.
No.
I feel like there's something about like his airflow maybe, or even like his mouth position that changes that like more, you know what I mean? It seems like almost like maybe it's not his mouth position. Maybe it's just that it's nasal. What do you think?
It is very nasal.
It's just very nasal.
It is very nasal.
Yeah.
But you need, so
That.
like, yeah, it's not the same when you're singing down low. If you use that much nose, it'd be, you know, wouldn't sound very good. But if you want your falsetto to cut, like he's doing, you gotta need all of that.
For sure.
It's pretty cool. I mean, it's
Interesting.
super impressive.
J'y crois
liked that. Interesting.
That
Yeah.
was the first time I think he struggled to
kind of
flip up to the break.
Yeah.
That was a mix, but I don't
Yeah.
think it was an intended mix.
Really?
I think he got caught.
Yeah.
And then he just kind
And
of
then he
gave him more air and is
Yeah.
getting through it, and he's gonna do it in the next phrase
For
probably
sure.
and all that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. What I was gonna say though is it's such a sign of like somebody who's just really good at their instrument.
Right.
When they can have the same clarity and fullness in their voice anywhere in their range.
For sure.
So like whether it's really low, like your lowest notes versus your highest notes, if you the entire time you can maintain that clarity and the fullness of voice, it's it's the real deal. You're using your full range really well. I struggle with my lower range. Singing lower for me is really hard to maintain clarity. And so, I'm just jelly.
Well, and I thought there was a moment there that it was very like full, almost like theatrical Broadway, like amazing sound.
Absolutely.
It kind of reminded me of Les Mis a little bit, but that's so interesting.
I think it's interesting. Who wrote this song?
What is this song? We should look it up.
This
I know.
wild song.
Okay. Almost a whistle.
That was crazy.
That was almost a whistle tone.
Jump
I think that was a whistle tone.
And then to super floaty, crazy all over the place.
I'm going to call that a whistle
wild.
tone. Yeah.
That. I don't know if I'm a fan of it. I'm sorry. It's a little heavy.
It's a little heavy
for me.
Yeah.
Now this is a musical subjective choice. Like,
also, yeah.
That doesn't. He's doing it on purpose.
He's clearly making that choice.
Yeah, and there are more people who enjoy that than than he doesn't need me. But it's just a style of like, it's like when people say, oh, this is my opera voice.
Right. Well, but that's what it sounds like. So that's what I think is really interesting about especially the song and him. He's showing like every single thing in one song. So like he'll sing in a register with a really like swallowed kind of heavy sound, but then he'll also sing it with a really efficient nasal sound.
Super
and then he'll also
clear.
sing it with like a really floaty, airy sound.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
This is definitely a vocal gymnastics song. Yeah. But I just think it's really interesting. It seems like, it's just a made up thing when people say, I want to do my opera voice.
Right. That does kind of what it sounds like.
Yeah. There. Will you back it up? Okay, so really quiet on the attack, and you think he's coming off, but then he gets really, and it's like not even a volume thing.
It's just like
it's an intensity thing. It's like a clarity thing.
Yeah.
And I just think that's a really cool touch.
I think that's also a really good indicator that he's using his air, because you need so much air to do that.
Like,
exactly.
He
was like, I got more. I'm gonna keep doing this.
Yeah, that was great.
That was really interesting. I gotta say, that's not really what I expected. Is that what you expected?
I don't know. I kind of did.
Yeah, I guess I expected him to be more like, I don't know, like belty, but it was very much like,
I was thinking poppy.
It was almost like it was almost like classical, almost theatrical a little bit. So I'm really excited to hear more from him, and maybe also learn a little bit about him, because so many people have requested us to react to him. This was the most popular one for sure. But yeah, he's very talented.
We talk a lot here about how you use your instrument and how that is, it's all a choice thing, and it's amazing when you watch anybody who's just a master at what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's fun to watch.
Absolutely.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
And so you can absolutely tell that he knows how to use his voice, and he knows how to do the things that he does really, really well.
Really
He's
well.
confident in it. He's going to put on a show for you.
Well, we hope that you guys enjoyed that reaction. If you guys are new here, please hit that subscribe button. We make new videos like this every single week. Thank you guys so much for watching. We are Chase and Melia, and we will see you next time.